Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. My name is Allie, and in today's video I am restocking my freezer while I share everything that I have learned when it comes to managing my kitchen. As a fiance, mom, and homemaker, I am the one who was in charge of running our kitchen, down to planning and cooking all of our meals, to keeping the kitchen clean and organized. I am responsible for it all. I have learned a thing or two along the way, which has made taking care of my kitchen more effortless and manageable. I hope these hacks give you some good ideas that you can implement in your kitchen to make life easier. Feel free to listen to this video while you are doing something productive around your house, whether it be your own form of meal prep or by choosing an area in your home to clean or organize. So without further ado, let's dive into all of the kitchen tips and tricks. So my very first tip is to stock your freezer with pre-made meals. And like I said, that is exactly what I'm doing in today's video. I like to do this every so often because I know that future Allie will thank me. One of the best ways to ensure you're making healthier choices is by keeping your freezer stocked with pre-made meals. Today I am whipping up a couple of different things. I'm making a butter chicken, chili, and my favorite hearty spaghetti sauce. These dishes are not only easy to prepare in bulk, but you can also freeze them beautifully, and they taste just as delicious when thawed out. By taking a little time to stock up your freezer, you'll always have a healthier option ready to go when you just don't feel like cooking. How often do you find yourself wishing supper was already made and then you just end up ordering in? You order off a skip the dishes. It happens all the time, right? Everybody deserves convenience now and then, but often the convenient choice is the unhealthy one. So by stocking your freezer with pre-made meals, it's not only going to take a huge weight off your chest and make your life easier, but it's also going to make sure that you are eating healthy. My next kitchen tip is to cook double or triple portions. When it comes to cooking, I like to maximize my efforts by cooking double to triple portions. This means that I spend less time in the kitchen throughout the week, but I still have plenty of delicious meals on the ready. It is all about efficiency and making the most out of your time. Literally every time I cook, well, nearly every time I cook, I double or triple the recipe because it just makes sense to me. You're already buying all the ingredients, you're already spending the time to prepare everything and cook everything, you're already dirtying the kitchen and dirtying the dishes, so why not just make big portions that you can eat for leftovers or pack for your husband's lunch or freeze for later on down the road. Tip number 3, to meal prep all of your lunches. So another tip for a smoother week is to meal prep your lunches, whether it is for you or your husband, or your children. Spending a little time on the weekend to prep lunches for the week saves you time and ensures that you're making healthier choices when hunger strikes. I started doing this for my spouse because he was having a really hard time juggling going for his morning workout and then getting to work on time. He would always have no time to make his lunches, so he would be spending money on food out of the house, which is always more expensive and more unhealthy. So now in the freezer, there's a whole section where he has meals at the ready. They're already pre-portioned, they're healthy, and all he has to do in the morning is open the freezer, grab a lunch, and then by the time he eats it, it's usually de-thawed, and if not, he just throws it in the microwave for a little bit. My next kitchen tip is to plan meals with like ingredients. So when you're planning your meals, use similar ingredients because it's not only efficient, but it's also budget friendly. We all know the cost of groceries and the cost of living nowadays is outrageous. So buy in bulk and use ingredients across multiple different dishes. You will save money and reduce waste, so it's a win-win. We get a lot of our produce from Costco, and even though we are only a family of 4, one being an infant and one being a toddler, we hardly have any produce waste because we use it for multiple dishes until it's all used up. So a good example of this is when I cook my spaghetti sauce and my chili, because they have very similar ingredients. Both meals, I use mushrooms, peppers, tomatoes, onion, beef, and a couple other things. The only difference is in my chili, I will add a couple extra things. Like I add spinach and I add corn and green beans. But for the most part, they are very similar. Just like my lasagna is also very similar. So a lot of the time I will also cook that at the same time. Tip number 5, this is a really good one for any moms or dads, any grandparents out there. If you have little helpers in the kitchen, then buy a helper stool. Trust me, they come in handy. You may have noticed in today's video that my daughter was using her helper stool and she was up, able to reach the countertops, and she was actually doing some artwork today. She was doing some little paintings, but a lot of the time she loves to help me in the kitchen. She will often practice her cutting skills, and there's just so many valuable life lessons and skills that little ones can learn in the kitchen. They can learn fractions when they're baking, and they can learn their colors. Yeah, me and my daughter have had so much fun the past, she's 3 years old now, so we've had so much fun, especially in the last 2 years of making memories in the kitchen. I know that I have a lot of memories growing up helping my parents in the kitchen, so now I am repeating that with my daughter, except the only difference is that I don't have to balance on a awkwardly large adult chair, or when I was a kid, I would stand on the garbage can, which is not necessarily the safest thing in the world. So helper stools are honestly so great if you have little ones. It's a great way to bond and create memories together. My next tip is to use freezer bags to store your food rather than only using Tupperware. Tupperware is great, but freezer bags help with space. We only have so much room in our freezers and our fridge, so freezer bags will flatten out and lay flatter, whereas Tupperware is just more bulky and takes up more room. So if you're trying to fit a lot of items in your freezer, then store them in these freezer bags, take the air out, and then flatten them down, and you can fit so much more in your freezer and fridge. Okay, my next couple of tips and tricks have to do with keeping your kitchen clean and organized. So first off is that everything in your kitchen needs a home. So keeping your kitchen organized is the key to efficiency. So make sure that everything has a designated home, from utensils to spices to where you put things in your fridge to your bowls and your Tupperware and your pantry. Have everything have a home, and make sure that everyone in your house knows where that home is. That way you're not having to search all different places and all the nooks and crannies to find what you need. This makes cooking easier, but it also helps maintain a clutter-free space. The next tip is to clean and organize your kitchen prior to bringing new food in your house. So I have developed a really good habit of this. Whenever new food comes into the kitchen, I made it a habit to clean and organize the fridge, freezer, and the pantry before I put the new food inside of it. For me personally, I use Instacart because it's the easiest way and the fastest way for me to order groceries with having 2 little kids. And it saves me so much time. So with that extra time that I save by buying my groceries online, I use it to my advantage by cleaning and organizing all of those areas. So while I'm waiting for my arrival, I will go in my fridge and I will throw away any old food, any expired food, and I will wash literally every single surface. And this prevents things from getting yucky and sticky, and it just makes upkeep so much easier. It makes it a breeze. Same with my pantry. This literally takes me not even 5 minutes. I'd say like 2 minutes at most. I open my pantry and I just like make sure everything is in its proper space, and I throw away anything that's gone bad. And then when the groceries conveniently arrive at my door, it's so much easier to put away because like you're eating the stuff. Why would you want to put new yummy food in with like yucky, gross, expired food? It just makes sense to me. My next tip is to run your dishwasher daily and to make sure that it is emptied every single morning. So don't wait until your dishwasher is completely full before running it. Run it daily even if it's not full. This ensures that you're always going to have clean dishes on the ready. So every morning, that is how I start my day. I always start my day with a load of laundry and I make sure that the dishwasher is emptied. At nighttime, I will make sure I start it, even if it's not full. Now, some people may think that this is a waste of water, but I just want to kind of disagree on that point because sometimes people will shove their dishes, like they'll put so many dishes in their dishwasher that the dishes aren't even getting washed properly. So then you have to use extra like soap tablets, or you're having to run it again, or you're having to end up washing some of them by hand. So it's okay if it's not like stuffed to the max. My next tip is to be minimal with your dishes and appliances. Being minimal with your dishes, tools, and appliances makes cleanup a breeze. Try to stick to the essentials, the ones that you use on the daily, and declutter them regularly. Trust me, you're gonna thank yourself later for the simplicity. There are so many different like little kitchen gadgets and appliances, and it can just be very excessive. So I would be very mindful what ones you're choosing to keep and bring inside of your home, because every single appliance and every single tool is then going to need to be cleaned and maintained and washed, and you're going to have to find a home for it. So try to collect the appliances and tools that you use on the daily or like very often, and B, preferably that has like multiple different functions. If something only has like one function and you use it very rarely, then to me it doesn't really make sense. Like it doesn't really belong in your kitchen. Same with like dishes, like just have less. Less is more. Because if you have less dishes and less cutlery, that means you're gonna have less to wash, and you're gonna have a lower risk of like dishes piling up, because instead of grabbing a new one, you're gonna have to wash what you already have. My next tip has to do with Tupperware, and if you are a mom or a spouse, then I bet you can relate. I feel like Tupperware is just like, it's always given us a headache, because how often are our family members leaving Tupperware at work or at school and they're not bringing it home, and Tupperware is very, very expensive, especially nowadays. So my tip for you is to try to find Tupperware that you have reused and recycled. So to save money on Tupperware, try reusing containers from yogurt, dips, feta cheese containers, and even ice cream pails. Not only are you being eco-friendly, but these containers often have a good seal, and it can save you from the frustration of lost Tupperware. It is simple yet an effective way to reduce waste and save money. We started doing this because we have been having to have a very strict budget, and because I do so much meal prep and because I pack my spouse's lunch, we need a lot of Tupperware, but we just can't afford to buy like new Tupperware all the time. And honestly, they have been working really, really good. We've had no issues with spills, and we can just wash them in the dishwasher. They have been really holding up, and then I don't have to give my husband a hard time when he doesn't bring it home. He can just go ahead and throw them in the garbage. So it's a lot easier. My next tip is to try to make your own snacks rather than purchasing them. We stopped buying as many snacks about half a year ago because they're just very expensive and really rank up the bill quickly. So to save money on your grocery bill, try to make your own snacks. They are also a lot healthier and not filled with any unnecessary sugars and preservatives. Many children get accustomed to 3 meals and 2 snacks a day, but we found this to be just too much food for our children. My children eat best with just 3 meals a day, and then sometimes we'll add a snack in here or there for like a family movie night or if we're leaving the house. Some great snacks that you can make are things like granola bars, nut bars, muffins, loaves. Honestly, there's so many good ideas. I get a lot of my good ideas on Instagram and Pinterest. My next tip is to keep an inventory list. So a kitchen inventory list will let you know what you have for groceries inside of your house so that you avoid any unnecessary purchases. Regularly update the list as you use up ingredients and restock as necessary. This helps prevent food waste and saves you money in the long run. I personally just do this in my mind. I don't actually have everything written down on paper, but if you don't have a great memory, then it may be best to write it down. This makes grocery shopping really easy because I know what we have and then I know what we need to buy. I also like to keep just a list. This is something that I do write down. I have a list where I just add to it every time I know that we need to pick up something so that when I go out of the house and I'm already in the store, I can check that list to make sure that I haven't forgotten about anything. I try to have a well-stocked pantry with things that don't expire and things that we use all the time. This is a game changer for busy days or when we have unexpected guests. So stock up on the essentials like pasta and canned beans and sauces and spices so that you're able to whip up a meal in no time without having to make a last-minute grocery run. Okay, and we have reached the end of today's video. I hope all of these tips and tricks and kitchen hacks gave you guys some helpful wisdom from a homemaker. These are all things, like I said, that I've learned which have just made my life a whole lot easier, so I hope they do the same for you. Thank you so much for making it to the end of today's video, and if you enjoyed, then please give this video a thumbs up. If you have somebody that comes in mind that you could share it with, then please do that, and start up a conversation down below. What are some kitchen hacks that have made your life at home a whole lot easier? Because as a mom, as a busy mom of 2 little ones, I'm always looking for wisdom from other moms. So I look forward to hearing from you. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you want more homemaking and motherhood content, and we will see you in my next video. So bye!